J.K. Rowling confirms some characters in her books and movies are gay, everywhere except the books Mongolian Harry, gay Ron, Black Hermione, Dumbledore, J.K. Rowling, Harry's first Rowling, you're J.K. Rowling. The J.K. Rowling meme will never not be funny. I don't know, I just find it hilarious that after how many years has she been doing this? 12 years since she first announced Dumbledore's gay. She still doesn't realize we all know exactly what she's doing. Just stop. Like, I know this video is going to annoy a large part of my audience because I'm a Harry Potter fan, I make Harry Potter videos, and therefore some of my audience are so far up J.K. Rowling, but I also think it makes me the perfect person, if I do say so myself, to be discussing this. Because as a Harry Potter fan, I do have a lot of respect for J.K. Rowling's work and like to give her the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but right now it's time to be honest. Her downfall is well and truly upon us, and it's time to talk about that, while also looking at memes, because this video goes into a lot of real world issues, and it just feels too serious, so I'm gonna dilute it with memes. If you're unaware of what I'm talking about, J.K. Rowling is constantly coming under fire for adding details into her stories after they're finished, seemingly to make herself look more inclusive and stuff. The first example of this was when she said Albus Dumbledore was gay in an interview in October 2007, 3 months after she specifically didn't mention that in the Deathly Hallows. And yeah, maybe it was slightly implied in some of the chapters, like reading it back now, I don't know if it's hindsight, but I can kind of gather that Dumbledore had a bit of a crush on Grindelwald. I wouldn't say it's anything more than a crush though. And I don't know if she got backlash at the time. I was 9, I have no recollection of it happening, it's just something that's always been. But the criticism is that she's trying to look good from the perspective of the LGBT community by having gay characters in her story, and also look good from the perspective of homophobes by not actually outright saying there are gay characters in the story. Which I think is a very fair complaint. I can see why the LGBT community would be up in arms about that. And while this did start in 2007, it's resurfaced multiple times since then. Most recently with the release of her new prequel series, Fantastic Beasts, featuring Dumbledore, where it was quickly brought to the attention of people that Dumbledore wasn't going to be openly gay in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. And at the time, my immediate thoughts were, well, Dumbledore and Grindelwald aren't exactly going to meet for a coffee in this film and explain their backstory, are they? Like, maybe it just doesn't come up in this specific film and will be brought up at a later date. And J.K. Rowling had the same response, where she also said she mutes people who disagree with her, which is a really good mentality to have. And now since the film's come out, Dumbledore doesn't just go, "Hello, I'm gay," but there is one line implying it.
You and Grindelwald were as close as brothers.
Oh, we were closer than brothers.
However, J.K. Rowling decided to keep digging a hole for herself and revealing the extra features of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald that
their relationship was incredibly intense. It was passionate, and it was a love relationship.
Why? And I know the immediate defense of this is, you can't criticize her for developing her characters, but yes, you can. She's only saying this in an interview after the film came out, and for obvious reasons, this passionate love relationship isn't going to be in the story. It's a family franchise after all. And it's honestly a real shame, because Fantastic Beasts provided itself as the perfect opportunity for J.K. Rowling to show it wasn't an afterthought and that Dumbledore actually was gay. But she's clearly just gone to the complete extreme and into overkill to prove that it wasn't this afterthought. Put this together with the fact there's not one other couple she felt the need to go into this detail for, and honestly, it speaks volumes. Let's go back to what I was saying earlier about the books implying it was a crush at most. You can see why this is a bit of a jump. Like, I was on board with Dumbledore crushing on Grindelwald and Grindelwald manipulating him because of that. That would fit with their characters and wouldn't really need to be mentioned in the Deathly Hallows, but this meme break was having a nice lunch out with my old pal J.K. Rowling, but then she suddenly revealed I had been gay all along. The whole restaurant stood up and clapped. Such a brave writer. Professor X, what's your power? J.K. Rowling, I can rewrite the past of fictional characters. Gay Professor X, interesting. That's a really good... No one. J.K. Rowling, Dumbledore was a massive Sevilla fan. You know when Spanish football teams get 57,000 likes on a Harry Potter tweet? It's a good meme. No one. J.K. Rowling, McGonagall would frequently take her cat form to have intense sex with Shane Dawson. No one. J.K. Rowling, there's a reason why Dumbledore's called the headmaster. Oh god. And if you're sat there thinking, oh well, this is clearly a one-off thing, why is everyone being so harsh? How's that rock you're living under? Comfortable? There's a lot more. And next I want to go into the thing that really got me noticing J.K. Rowling's downfall. Because over the last few years, it's got more and more clear that she's trying to milk every single penny out the Harry Potter franchise while she still can. And I mean, yeah, I've participated in this. I've bought merch, watched the films, been to the studios, and other stuff I'm not as proud of. And while I don't think it's fair to criticize someone for wanting money, because it's a pretty normal thing to want. I want money, please subscribe to my channel and watch my ads. She's doing it in a way that's tarnishing the reputation of her original stories, and I just don't get why. I can't be the only one who's noticed she's starting to seem uncannily similar to George Lucas. Like, her career path has basically mirrored his, with them both making a successful series over the course of about 10 years. Took a bit of a break from that series and tried out new things which didn't work as well. And then inevitably came back to the series with prequels and adjustments to the original stories and you name it. I think it's surely only a matter of time until she sells Harry Potter for a huge lump sum of money and it just gets completely rebooted. But for now, she's still in charge and she's clearly losing her magic touch, shall we say, because there have been a few questionable creative decisions she's made in the last few years. Starting with a play. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because I just don't want to give it the attention, but it's necessary to talk about. Long story short, two guys called Jack Thorne and John Tiffany wrote some Harry Potter follow-up story and J.K. Rowling approved it. Because I guess she wanted money. While it's considered a nice production that works well on stage, that has critics raving, the majority of Harry Potter fans don't like it. And even Harry Potter fans who love it, yes, they do exist, understand that it wasn't written by J.K. Rowling and just like it for the time travel fan fiction it is. But even with this baggage, it was still selling out shows, still won a ridiculous number of Tonys, but no. That wasn't enough for J.K. Rowling, who decided to tweet that this fan fiction to the original Harry Potter story was now canon. And this was the big turning point for me. This was when I realized she cares more about money than she does about Harry Potter. Then there was Fantastic Beasts, and just for transparency's sake, I actually really like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Like, I genuinely think it's a good adventure taking place in the Harry Potter universe. I wish I could say the same about The Crimes of Grindelwald. And this Fantastic Beasts series was supposed to be J.K. Rowling's first step into the world of screenwriting. I've said it before and I'll say it again. J.K. Rowling is an incredible author and world builder. Screenwriter though? Not so much. But I guess I can't criticize. Maybe she just wants to learn the craft of screenwriting because that's a normal thing for authors to want to do. Or we could consider that money is a factor here because what makes more money? Books or films? It's films. So am I surprised she's just skipping the middleman and going straight into writing films? No, not at all. I'm even less surprised they managed to stretch this series out to 5 films where one of those films is a non-event with way too many Harry Potter cameos for its own good, but I'm not going to delve into that too much today. It's time for memes. No one. J.K. Rowling in 2030. Voldemort was a depressed gay man of colour. You know what, to be fair to J.K. Rowling, Voldemort was actually asexual, so she was technically representing a small community of asexuals, so well done for that. No one. J.K. Rowling. Arthur Weasley's most prized possession is a Benfica jersey offered by Eusebio himself. You know when Portuguese football teams are tweeting viral tweets? Us. Can we get them raw? J.K. No. But the restricted section of Hogwarts was restricted because that's where Dumbledore hid his gay erotica. J.K. Rowling. Professor Snape was Gossip Girl. I don't think I get that one. Further controversies include making Hermione black, which originally I didn't see as a problem because who cares? It isn't a canon play. Diversifying the cast is clearly a good thing. Until J.K. Rowling took to Twitter, surprise, surprise, where she just decides to make a claim that she's never said Hermione was white before. Firstly, you did multiple times. And anyway, no good person had a problem with you casting, and I'm sorry if I get this name wrong, Noma Dumatsari, to play Hermione. If she was the best actress, cast away. There's no shame in changing a character's appearance. Like, look at James Bond, originally written as a white male, now being rumoured to play by Idris Elba. Or more topically, Captain Marvel, who was once a man but is now a woman and being played by beloved, wonderful actress Brie Larson. I really hope someone takes that as a personal attack. We've also got the fact Nagini was an Asian woman the entire time, which really adds to her character, doesn't it? This was extremely problematic when it first happened because Nagini was one of the only coloured members of the cast and she was first shown behind bars. I think you can see why there's a bit of a problem with that. But I'm not going to go too deep into that because to return once again to wait for it, J.K. Rowling's Twitter, she claimed that she's been planning this for 20 years. No, you haven't. Like, I'm sorry, does she realise that no one believes her? Like, literally no one. Like, just off the top of my head, I can think of a good few examples of things she definitely didn't plan and has just retconned after all things were said and done. Firstly, we have McGonagall, whose age was changed in Fantastic Beasts. If she'd been planning this the entire time, I don't see why she'd include the throwaway line in The Order of the Phoenix, where McGonagall says she's been teaching at Hogwarts for 39 years and, well, if you've seen The Crimes of Grindelwald, that doesn't add up. She also said on Pottermore that she didn't like exploring time travel in her series, so smashed all remaining time turners during the battle in the Department of Mysteries, removing the possibility of reliving even short periods in the future, only to agree to an entire follow-up story based around time travel and time turners. She felt the need to claim that a minor character who was only mentioned a few times throughout the series was in fact Jewish all along after someone questioned whether there are any Jews at Hogwarts. And I mean, did you just go through all your characters to see who had the most Jewish sounding name? Because Anthony Goldstein. Apparently Dumbledore has an even younger brother who was never mentioned but is really important. And I mean, if she'd been planning this the entire time, doesn't that completely ruin the King's Cross scene with Dumbledore and Harry where Dumbledore finally comes clean? The fact that Sorting has now been revealed to be a butch lesbian. Okay, that one isn't true, but you were buying it. And I'm sure you know about how wizards used to not use toilets, because that was something everyone needed to know, and doesn't even work, because remember how they got to the Ministry of Magic in the Deathly Hallows? Oh yeah, through toilets, Muggle plumbing. They've gone from hating Muggle plumbing to using Muggle plumbing a little excessively, and like, I understand over the course of 20 years you're going to have new ideas and your story is going to change, but why can't you just admit to it? And 2015, J.K. Rowling. I'm writing a new Harry Potter book. Me, young, naive, and innocent. Wow, my favorite series is going to get more content, smiley face. 2019, J.K. Rowling. Dumbledore had his own rib removed so he could suck his own. I've never related to a meme so strongly in my life. J.K. Rowling reveals that Hagrid was black all along. Oh, and it's played by Samuel L. Jackson as well. What are the chances? No one. J.K. Rowling. Dumbledore's Patronus is actually a stack of pancakes. You know, in an American diner, J.K. Rowling, 10-year-old with a headset, calling everybody gay. That reminds me of a really good meme I once saw. Harry Potter fans, non-Harry Potter fans, J.K. Rowling needs to stop. Wow, who made that? What a genius they were. I guess in conclusion, you're expecting me to say the 4 magic words. J.K. Rowling must stop. But I already said it. The reality is, it's only a matter of time before she sells Harry Potter and becomes one of the richest people alive. Or one of the even richer richest people alive. And who even knows what happened to Harry Potter then? Like, I couldn't tell you. I wish I could. I still have a hope in the back of my mind she can salvage something out of Fantastic Beasts, because the Dumbledore Grindelwald duel's got to be good, right? Like, surely it's got to be good. But other than that, I don't even know what to say on this topic. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking here. You can watch another video by clicking here. You can check out my merch here and in the description down below. Also, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I have fun over there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Nobody. J.K. Rowling. Ronald Weasley ended up divorcing Hermione and joining the I don't even care.